Evening, everyone. I'm Rashmi Sharma, a DBA scholar with Whitcliffe University, and today I'm presenting my research on leadership development model that I'm researching and developing to help leadership even in a disruptive time. As an organizational strategist, executive coach, and researcher, I'm continuously researching and studying the behavioral patterns of executive leadership. After extensive working experience in human resources and learning and development and higher academic interest, I have developed a new leadership model for next generation leadership. This model stems from transformational leadership and developed further as an imperative model that generates innate awareness. It offers the right tool for the shifting paradigm in corporate American leadership and help leaders to ascend to the next level. And these are my motivational cores, which drives me internally and motivate me to keep myself inspired about my research. So what is my research is all about? My research is all about information on leadership model, which serves leaders and organizations to experience success in abundance. So these are my research questions, which I am talking about in this research. Have you ever wondered if transformational leadership increases your bottom line? How transformational leadership can enhance inclusivity and growth? How transcendental leadership focuses first on fulfillment of leaders to increase the effectiveness of their presence and influence. So that's the goal and the research for this presentation today. And this takes me to the next slide, which is talking about the need of holistic approach. So this time push us to a level where we need a holistic approach that serves business organization while continuously addressing and empowering the workforce. This approach stems out from a transformational leadership model, which were given by Bass and other researchers, and transformational leadership, where they are talking about transformational leadership as a leadership approach adopted by individuals who seek to foster and commit a change among their workforce by creating and communicating a vision that serves as an inspiration and the catalyst for the team mobilization. So if that is the goal of transformational leaders, but one of the tools which transformational leadership talk about is influencing through communication, right? Transformational leadership requires the leaders' ability to influence individual through passion and motivation. The second aspect of transformational leadership, which we are talking here, is about leading change. As a transformative leader, one is not only constantly focused on driving inspiration among individual and the workforce and the team, but also keeping tab on their performance and how it could be enhanced. And by doing so, transformational leadership is influencing the outcome by how? By adopting approaches with their teams and their subordinates or their workforce, by expressing a genuine desire to help identify their growth areas and needs and collaborate in a way that aligns with the vision of the organization and with the vision and the values of the individual serving to the organization. So my question here is, if you are a transformational leader, what is the growth look like in the corporate leadership for you? So here I'm talking about a word, transcendent. Transcendent is not limited to spirituality as it has been taken in past, but transcendentalism is, for me, is ascending to the level of intuitive intelligence that anchors the leadership to your inner being meaningfully and sustainably. Sustainability is the most important and the most discussed term in leadership or in corporate America right now. And how we can do that, I will be talking in a minute about that. So as I given the whole background of in transformational leadership, the background of the transformational leadership and how it has, what are the key attributes and behavior transformational leaders showcase, and how it stimulates the motivation and peak performance among their workforce and their team members. So in management, transformational leadership theory is not new. And many leaders found their growth in transformational leadership theories, and they exhibited those qualities and abilities to lead people. But at the same time, it comes with some limitations. Transformational leadership, as the word transformation itself says, its transformation means converting one state to another, but it lacks the conceptual definition in terms of leadership. The common ground for transformational leadership dimension is very unclear, and transformational leadership dimension are measured by multi-factor leadership questionnaire. Is it sufficient to measure? Is it giving us the right indicators and right data? Not much research has been done or is available right now, how it affects the outcome, how it affects the bottom line. So when we are talking about limitations of transformational leadership, there is not much empirical evidence that can distinguish it from the other leadership models which are prevalent. So with those limitations in mind, I would like to jump into the next slide, which is talking about transcendental leadership. Transcendent leadership symbolizes a deeper level of strategic leadership that includes an awakened level of self, connected within, and able to translate the shared vision by internally transforming themselves. Several research has been done on transcendental leadership, where they are talking about self and the others to connect through spirituality and science. However, I'm talking about transcendent is a level that helps you ascend to the growth beyond the level which you have not yet explored or seen. And some of my other research talk about it. And how that can be done, I'm sorry, is if I'm lensing this through the strategic perspective of organizational development and growth, transformational leadership is limiting as transformational needs are different for different industries, right? And due to such dynamic leadership needs, what happened that the transformation gets into the trap of a spiral growth. You are growing, but it's a spiral growth. But if you have an aim to truly grow ourselves as a leader and an organization, we need to see peak performance as the starting of the next journey. So when your roof becomes your floor, and then the transformational leadership model shies away from that of offering that growth of abundance of growth in abundance for leadership. And that's what I'm going to address through my model, which is Convey model. It is talking about a scientific development of leadership model based on learnings and research. This model researched and identified the gaps in the current leadership model and addresses them by offering effective and efficient tools to combat certain challenges, even in the uncertain time, even during the disruptive time. So the knowledge and ability of yours nurtured to develop holistic leadership and to create a wholehearted, amplified you as an executive and leader. That's the motive of Convey model. And how we can do it, I am coming to that point. So what is the mission of Convey model? The Convey model is designed to help the highly skilled professionals become a highly influential leader. You can be a highly skilled professional yet leading, but how can you keep your influence at the top even when you are a peak performer, when you are hitting the plateau of peak performance? So why this model is needed? This model serves any leader or organization that want to experience abundance on all levels. So the leadership nuances are often deducted to functionality and therefore limit themselves in the expectation-driven, revenue-driven, time-sensitive, externally motivated standard practices. The incremental combination of cognitive, scientific, and intuitive intelligence is desirable for any leadership and organization who sees growth and learning as a milestone, not an epitome for leadership capabilities. So, Convey model is a value-centered approach. Transcendent your leadership through Convey model is a holistic, as I said earlier too, it's a value-centered approach to leadership interwoven with the very foundation of self-awareness and self-discoveries. This leads to a maximized potential and foster new abilities for your organic growth as a leader. So Convey model brings two sets of values to drive value-centered leadership. The first set of values represents the self aspect of the leader, and the second represents the duty, the organizational values that serves to that they are serving at that particular time. So Convey model intensify the self-value system and creates a state of fluidity, a virtual outlet to stay in the flow state of growth. It is resting on the inherent paradigm a construct of intelligent quotient to emotional quotient and social quotient to adaptability quotient, creating an equilibrium ecology for extraordinary intuitive quotient. That's what this model is valued around. And that's why it's called the value-centered approach. So how we can achieve that? What are the tools I have to offer to those leaders who want to take their growth journey to the next level? And that I'm coming up in the next slide. And I call it that Rite of Passage. And I developed a 4-quad tool. So let me talk about the Rite of Passage first. The Rite of Passage is a pathway towards the learning ecology and new abilities viewed as a leadership utopia earlier, right? People think that's not possible. So how we can address that utopia? The path, this is ascribing a path, the path to the transitional phase between the highly skilled professional nurtured in a hybrid environment of expansion and amplification. And this ascend them to transcendent, to a highly impactful leader. So these 4 quads are talking about target, what we are targeting as for our leadership skills. Then we are transforming it. Then we are measuring the outcome as a tangible outcome. And then those outcomes takes you to the next level of transcendent leader. So these 4 quads address target, which is need-based and which offers a holistic physical, mental well-being by aligning mind, body, soul of our leaders to the purpose they are serving to. The second quad offers a complete transformation through the tool called A to the power of 7, which addresses intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, and adaptability quotient to bring the intuitive intelligence to a level that is awakened and transformed for you as a leader to serve better to the organizational goals and to yourself too. The tangibility is offered by offered as it says the tangible outcome. Industry approved tools just like 360 surveys, DEST, Chiffon Strength, or Sparrow surveys, etc., whichever the organization practices or believe in, or leadership believe in, and the growth is shown from that accepted industry models. And that takes you to the fourth quad, which is transcendentalism. By redefining your peak performance, remember I told, when your roof becomes your floor and your growth becomes a linear growth, and that is achieved through finding your Sanam Bonum. And Sanam Bonum, as I adopted from the ancient philosophies, is well-being of addresses the well-being of the leader, organization, and workforce by augmenting productivity and engagement, customer growth, revenue growth, financial growth, and all these holistically takes you to ascend to an ascended level of transcendent leadership. And with that, these are the references slide, which I'm giving based on research. This is, I have already applied for the patent for this model, which is pending right now. And I will be happy to take any questions. And I appreciate this opportunity to share my research with all of you. Thank you.